Alright, let's suppose we have a distance of 47.8 kilometers and we want to convert this to meters. So one of the things that we could do, of course, is to just use the conversion factor, and we look over here to our metric prefixes, and here they are. Here it shows us that a kilo, K, means times 10 to the third. Even though it doesn't say the times, that's what it means, times 10 to the third here. Alright, so let's go back and we'll use our conversion factor. So we always write in a fraction, and so we let the number guide us as to whether the denominator down here or the numerator has the kilometer and which one has the meter. Okay, so we know that there is 1,000 meters in a kilometer, so I'm going to write, instead of 1,000, I usually write 10 to the third, which is the same thing. 10 to the third meters is 1 kilometer. Okay, and of course the kilometers cancel, that's why we put the kilometers in the denominator here. And so this becomes, let's rewrite it down here, 47.8, and then we say times 10 to the third meters, right? Because the kilometers have canceled, of course. Let me briefly talk, and this is pretty simple to enter into your calculator, but when these exponents get really large or really small, we're going to have to use the exponential notation on your scientific calculator. And so all that means is the calculators are made so that this times 10 part, there's just one button. You don't ever hit times, you don't ever hit 10. Okay, so make sure that you remember that. What you rather do is there's a button that represents the times 10. It's different for different manufacturers. If it's a Texas Instrument, generally this times 10 part is the EE button. Okay, so there's an EE button. The other popular type of scientific calculator is a Casio, so that uses, instead of EE, it is an EXP button. EXP, or exponent. Okay, so you're going to have to know your calculator, and you have to be able to follow and be able to do that. So literally, here's how I would do it on my Texas Instrument. It would be 47.8, and then for the Texas Instrument, generally you have to hit Shift EE. Okay, so you should mark down figure out how to do this on your calculator. So I'm just going to put the EE button. It's not all of them use Shift, but anyhow, so the EE and then 3, right? Because that's the thing that's important right there. So the 3 goes here. So this right here is how you would enter that in your calculator. Okay. All right. So we're going to move on to the next example. All right. Here's our next example. Suppose we had, I know I keep using distances, but it doesn't really matter. Suppose we had 12,500 millimeters. Okay, and we want to convert this to some number. This is what we're going to determine of meters. Okay, so then there's of course several ways to do this. Let's look back at our metric prefixes, and milli is 1,000th, or 10 to the times 10 to the minus third. Okay, so it's the symbol that we use is lowercase m, and of course that's what we've done here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply replace this little m. If it was a kilo, if it was micro, any of these, I can just replace it by what it is on our our metric prefix table here. So since milli literally means times 10 to the minus third, I'm going to simply replace that. So this becomes 12,500. And so I'm replacing the milli, it's times 10 to the minus third. And of course we still keep the meters, right? The meters has not changed. Now, however, that's fine. That's the answer, and there's nothing that's perfectly okay. However, just to remind everybody, there is, of course, an implied decimal after this last zero here in 12,500. There's a decimal point right here. And the times 10 to the minus 3 means to move the decimal place 3 places to the left. If it's minus, it's to the left. If it's positive, it's to the right. So here, let's just do this, just more or less to remind ourselves a little bit of a refresh. So there's one decimal place, 2 decimal places, 3 decimal places. Okay, so this literally means this 12,500 millimeters is converted to 12.5. Let's make that point a little bigger. 12.5, right? Because we've had to move the decimal place 3 places to the left, meters. So that is our answer.